So today is the day before my first show of this year, and I'm kind of working towards qualifying for Horse of the Year. So what I thought I would do is take you on a little bit of a journey along with me getting ready for the show tomorrow, and how I'm kind of going to work in having a brand new baby, and we've got 3 other older kids as well. So hopefully for other mums out there who are competitive riders or you're wanting to get back into it, hopefully this is a little inspiring for you, and also just real life of how it all comes together. So right now I have just headed out to the tack shed. I did put Jack down to sleep. He is 6 months old, almost 7 months old actually. I put him down to sleep and he slept for all of like 15 minutes. So right now he's inside with Dad. I'm shooting out to have a quick ride. I'm going to run through my tests today and wash him up, get ready for our test tomorrow. So I got the draw the other day, and my first test is at 8:30 in the morning, which, beautiful, because early start, but it is so hot at the moment, so I'm pleased about that. And then the next one is 12:30, so a bit of a big break in between, and hot in the middle of the day, but hey, what can you do? Training session done. Today we worked a little bit on, he just seems to be blocking a bit going to the left. So I've just been working at freeing up his jaw on that side, and getting a little bit more shoulder control. I think that as we've kind of done a bit of a swing, because I'm probably bright red right now. I wonder if I can spin this around. Nope. I think in the beginning he kind of like struggled with going forward, and very light in the front, and now we're beginning to get a bit more power and we've lost a bit of the control in the front. So it's all kind of just balancing things up. But that's cool. I'm looking forward to seeing how tomorrow is going to go. Hopefully we're going to be a little bit calmer. We've had major grass issues this year, so it's kind of been a bit of a hindrance on what we can achieve. Getting his wash. Chill times in the shade, eh, Jack? What do you reckon? Do you like the sand? What are you doing, Jack? Are you helping Mama with the horses? Are you? Is the sand good? Yes. Right, so it's 6 a.m. and I am just about to mix up feeds and then go and plait chrome. So do that, hook up the float, chuck my gear in, and then we're off. So I'm aiming to be down there about 7:15, and that'll give me plenty of time to let him settle in, to tack up, and then to have a nice gentle warm up. So here we go, show day. made it. I've got my two awesome little helpers and we are on our way to the warm-up ring, and he seems a little bit calmer than last time, so that is awesome. Test this morning and I've just got my results back. So I got 65.2 and I'm so happy with today's results. We didn't place in this test, but there's definitely improvements from last season. Some things were probably not as good as we were last season, but then I have to remember he's a young green horse. This is really our first proper show back out, because up until this point we've been dealing with grass issues. So the start of the season, if you haven't followed along, I lost my poor little pony and he turned into a maniac. One weekend, his very first, I kind of was bringing him back into work, and then I chucked my daughter on to go and do a gymkhana, and he was awesome. They were perfect together. And then the next week was a clinic that I was riding at with Warwick Schiller, and oh, so embarrassing. Excuse my pimple as well. I was like, this is gonna be great. We can, like, start working on the next stage of things. And we got there and he just lost his mind, and I was like, oh my god, this is so embarrassing. Who is this horse? and what it turned out to be was it coincided with springtime and the grass coming in. So unfortunately, he seems to be quite affected by the grass at our farm. So over the course of the last few months, I kind of, in the beginning, I thought it was training, and I thought that maybe from having all the time off, and in the season before I'd finished up, well, not finished up, but I'd done Equiday's Top Talent, so it was a really big environment. So I thought, maybe I've like blown his mind, and now I've got an anxious horse. So I was kind of going back over all of the training, and nothing was really working. So I got in touch with a client of mine, Dale Logan, who happens to be a nutritionist. Actually, she offered to help me out, and so we've been working together, and she's helped me get his diet balanced and getting the right supplements into him, so I'm not wasting money on things that were not quite right. And now finally I've got my pony back again, so this is our first show out since I've got things under control. Our last show, which was at the start of December, was just a complete write-off. I actually had to retire, and he was just losing his mind. He reared up, his legs were kind of like buckling underneath him, and unfortunately the yards that he'd been in overnight were full of barley grass, I think it was, and he just went loopy. So anyway, fast forward to now, I've got my pony back again, which is so exciting, and I'm really happy with my test. So this is our first season being registered, so we've stepped up a little bit, and my marks are kind of all, our lowest is I think a 5.5. Yeah, 5.5, and that was my fault because I was late to transition because I wasn't focused. And then 7.5. So where we kind of need to work on is getting the power coming through. Crona's really, really light in the front, and very sensitive, but he kind of wants to suck back, and he kind of stays in this dainty short movement, and where I need to practice building him is to that power from behind to drive through and up into the bridle without it becoming tense and hollow. So we've been doing lots of lateral work to help with that, and obviously still more, and it's the type of horse he is as well, so which is really lovely because it fits and works well with the classical style of training, which I really, really love. But it's just a work in progress, and it's reminding myself that we're just at the very beginning. So I'm pleased with our first test. It's 11:20 now, so we've just over an hour till my next test, so I'm gonna jump out in a second. I've got baby asleep in the bag at the moment, and he has just been so cool today, and I'm lucky to have a very supportive partner who's been helping out with Jack as well, and children too. Our big kids have been helping as well. So yep, I'm about to jump out. I'll see if he needs any plaits put back in again, give him a bit of a brush, maybe a bit of a massage, because I notice he's a bit tight on the on anti-clockwise, so on the left rein. He's a bit tight through his jaw and pole area, which I know is just a typical problem area for him. Unfortunately, I forgot my massager today, so I'm gonna have to do it manually. Anyway, talk soon. Chrome just finished doing his stretches and can't be bothered putting his leg back. Does it feel good, Chrome? Good. Oh, we are done for the day, aren't we, Jack? So my second test didn't go so well. He was just He wasn't wanting to go forward. He was like with me mentally, but yeah, not wanting to go forward and quite resistant through transitions. Beautiful at the walk, which is really crazy because that was our really difficult part of our work last year, but we seem to be nailing that, so that was really cool. But it's showing up in our trotting canter work, unfortunately. So what I'm thinking it was in this afternoon's test, because I kind of thought after this morning's test, I thought, well, that wasn't too bad. Surely we're gonna, you know, like get better from where we were this morning. But I think the ground is really, really, really hard here. It's like riding on concrete. So I think what happened was he wasn't wanting to go forward because it was so hard, and because he's such a sensitive horse, he seems to really pick up on when things aren't quite right. So it's all good feedback, and I caught up with my good friend Margaret Lees, who is a beautiful rider and trainer. So I've organised with her to get some lessons, which is going to be really cool. So now I've got 2 trainers that I'm working with here in New Zealand, who I love the way they work, so I'm excited about that. One is a little bit further away, so I can't work with her as often, but thankfully Maggie's not too far away, so hopefully we'll be able to do a little bit more work together. So yeah, that's a wrap for today. Jack's been a pretty good boy, haven't you, Jack? You're awesome. And of course, great support from my partner as usual. So I hope you've enjoyed coming along on the first of our vlog series, and I'm looking forward to doing more, and and hopefully I'll get better at this vlogging business as well. But thank you for being part of the journey, and we'll see you next time.